And again, this is the main difference between the left and the right here. When the left loses an election, yes, they grumble about it and they say things they shouldn't, like he's an illegitimate president. They don't actually try to stay in office. Kamala Harris.
Hang on a second. If Hillary Clinton and the Democrats got their way when they were challenging Trump and saying he was an illegitimate president in 2016, and they somehow got that bullshit Steele dossier to somehow, which was, by the way, all completely nonsense.
You watch too much Fox News.
No, I don't watch Fox News at all.
I
legitimately do not watch Fox News.
Well,
That's political commentator and man constantly operating under the influence, Bill Maher, grasping at straws after actor Zachary Levi fact-checked him for pushing Democrat-issued propaganda. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and if you ever needed evidence that Bill Maher isn't half as clever as he thinks he is, look no further than this clip where he gets completely caught off guard by an actor who he assumed was an uninformed Trump supporter. Here's Levy schooling Maher on the bias rampant in legacy media.
But all of the people on the left that might want to cut off their family, and by the way, some people on the right too might be guilty of this, it's because of the bullshit that the legacy media has been saying over and over and over and over again, Bill. I mean, when you have almost every network television show, other than Fox News, when all the rest are saying Hitler, 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 and all of his supporters are Nazis, and Madison Square Garden is a Nazi rally, and all of these things, of course you're going to spin all of these people watching that into a tizzy of fear that, and
okay,
so it's
as long as you acknowledge that Fox News invented spinning people into a tizzy.
Bill, that's not true.
Over bullshit.
That is not true.
Fox News doesn't have a history of bullshit.
Of course they do, but they're not the one who started it. Fox News was a response to, because all of the rest of the media was basically more left-leaning, and Fox News was like, okay,
but they could have been right-leaning and not also completely journalistically.
I agree. That's why I include them in all of that. I think there are some people on each one of these networks that tries to actually step out and be honest.
I gotta say, you don't seem like the complete idiot that the people on the left said you were. I'm terribly disappointed. No, I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
I mean, you have to accept that in people, that there are places, and people must know this from the relationships they're in. You must know that you're with a person as a friend, as a lover, whatever, and 80% of it is you're aligned, and then there's 20% where they're like, wow, that person's just nuts on that. But what can you do? And the answer is accept.
Maher's not wrong about accepting people, and kudos to him for doing the bare minimum and having discussions with people he disagrees with. But frankly, I'm getting a little bit tired of celebrating the bare minimum, particularly when it comes to people on the left. Every time someone like Maher says or does something that was considered common sense or rational 10 years ago, it makes headlines because progressives have gone so far off the deep end.
Democrats, they lost a crazy contest to a crazy person. I totally get that.
I don't know that is the case, though.
You don't think he's a crazy person?
I don't. I actually don't. I don't think he's a paragon of morality, but I also don't think that the
country...
Not
talking about morality. That's a different issue.
But I would say, though, I mean, listen, there's lots of details that one can add or subtract to this conversation, but in brass tacks general terms, the 4 years of his presidency were significantly better than the 4 years of the Biden-Harris presidency and vice presidency.
Well, there's so much more complicated.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I understand it's more complicated.
Factors that move into that.
Sure, fine. And people say, well, it was Obama's economy that he inherited. Oh, okay, but fine. But hold on a second. Save COVID, which was not in his power at all.
He
not just maintained that economy, he made it even better. Our border was more secure. Our economy was more secure. Crime rates were down. I mean,
we weren't doing anything to because that side does not really believe in the emergency of environmental catastrophe. So that, to me, is one of the two deal breakers on the right. They don't really get it about the environment. And the other one is democracy. They don't get that. So those are my two issues that are important to me as a voter. Those are the two big weak points on the right. Very weak on that. So, you're not going to, these people who think, well, we're going to get Bill over to our side.
Oh, no. I'm not trying to get you over to any side.
I mean,
I just like I like having
No,
the
not
intellectual
you.
conversation.
I've got to say, the one thing I really appreciate about Bill's podcast is that it highlights how uninformed he is about a lot of things. Because unlike his HBO show, he doesn't have a team of writers crafting witty jokes, or people in his ear feeding him information, or a team of editors making sure he doesn't come off as dumb. It's completely off the cuff, and you can see how he's perpetually stuck in the Bush era, where there was still some trust in the media and liberals were considered counterculture. I mean, for crying out loud, Bill thinks the majority of conservatives still get their news from Fox, when that hasn't been the case in a long time. Heck, a lot of conservatives I know think Fox is becoming controlled opposition at this point because their viewpoints are too liberal on certain issues, which is especially true after they were the first ones to call Arizona in 2020. But let me know what you think. Did Fox News create biased reporting, or are they just a response to it? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. This stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!